Hello all. Hello none. Sorry, I'm just eating some Skittles. So I thought I'd go live just to see whether it worked up here from my room, whether I could connect to the internet that's all the way on the other side of the house without breaking up at all or anything like that. And lo and behold, well, I don't know how it's going because no one's here to tell me as of yet. So yeah, hi Michael, how you doing? Yeah, I was saying, Mike, I'm just sort of here to test how this goes up here in this room, like whether it breaks up or whether it connects to the internet okay, because the internet's on the far side of the house. I've got no booster in between, so I didn't have the Wi-Fi would connect. So let me know if I'm breaking up or anything, or if it isn't very good. Yeah, and it's basically, I thought, because I was wondering about, in 2 weeks' time when I do my room tour of the new room, I was thinking about doing it live. And that way I haven't got to worry about filming it, editing it. And, that sort of thing. So, Mark Shell, hello, mate. How you doing? Matthew Nichols, I accidentally taken my teacher's reading glasses home. Do you think I'll get in trouble? No. Why would you? An accident. Accidents happen. What is a mistake if not the opportunity to learn? Things happen. Teacher should have looked after him better and not put him down. Michael's currently at his grand's, help him renew her license. Okay, all right, cool. Cool. Yeah, what are we talking about today? So, as you can see, there was like a sort of space behind me on the wall. Right there. That's deliberate. Because I've got some lightsabers to go up there onto that wall. I've got like a holder that holds 4 lightsabers. Also checked my CX on. Really? Wow. Okay. My one does. I know some do posters. Where do you get film posters from these days? Yeah, I haven't bought a film poster in a long time. I usually go for canvases now, like that. But film posters, back in the day, there used to be shops up London that there was a shop up in central London that sold nothing but posters and stills from films. These are the days before having your own printers and things like this, or when not many people had printers and that. God, you know what? My eyesight is terrible. These are new glasses and I am struggling to read what's on the screen in the comments. I have to get a little bit closer. I'm watching the final battle in Spider-Man 2 2004 right now. Yeah, the Doc Ock. It's a good film, that. Best Spider-Man film, in my opinion. Michael said it must be a UK thing. Yeah, I'm not sure if all of them do here, sell posters, but my local one certainly does. It's not really often that I look, I'll be honest. I did buy one, actually, Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I was wondering, I've got 2 canvases on the wall that you can't see. They're straight in front of me. I was wondering if I could get a poster on the wall behind them, so I could just take the canvas down and then have a different display ready to go, sort of thing. Yes. Monkey says, yes, you can get everything in the USA except a good king or queen. I'm not one for the monarchy. Well, at least you've got Harry and Meghan over there, haven't you? But yeah, so what have I been up to? So I've recorded my Defending a Dud for Batman and Robin. That's up, ready to go. I've premiered it. At the end of that video, there will be a choice of 3 other films, including a runner-up. That includes the runner-up from the last time. And my Defending the Dud's going to be monthly. Yeah. We're going to just find something to talk about. Here we go. I'll just grab a film that's close to me and tell me if you've seen it. It's not a very good one. Blood Rain from Uwe Boll. Uwe Boll, fantastic director. One of the best in the world. And this here film starred Kristanna Loken, Michael Madsen, Michelle Rodriguez, and Ben Kingsley. You know, quite a strong cast in a sense. All right, Kristanna Loken ain't doing much these days, but you know, Ben Kingsley, although he does do some crap at times. Michelle Rodriguez, you know, they're people you know, but they went and done a film for Uwe Boll. Now, I think Blood Rain is based upon a game, isn't it? Can someone confirm that? I don't know, I'm not a gamer. I sort of thought that was a fantastic cover. And they made 2 sequels to it. That's right. So I have them both there. Not with Kristanna Loken. I found it in one of my boxes when I went through it the other day. I do have some crap. AJ, teacher threatened me. If I don't do any work at school, she will turn the internet off. What internet? If you're quite young and you're growing up, sorry, that's Skittles in my throat. If you're quite, no, I can't tell you. You'll understand when you're older, when you're out of school, that none of it mattered, apart from learning. That was the only bit that mattered. Getting an education. There's something to be said for having knowledge. Christ. Oh, sorry about that. There's something to be said for having an education, having knowledge, having experience, for having so don't give that up. But threats from your teacher, ask yourself what they can really do. But do listen to them. Hey, One Real Nerd, how you doing? How are you? Yeah, I'm good. Hi. Says Matt. Matt says there's a sound issue, crackling noise. Is anyone else getting that? Because like I said, I'm sort of doing this as a test to see how it, because I want to know whether to do my room view as live or as pre-recorded based upon the internet connection. I got work texting me. Oh, good God, it's 3:20 and work's texting me. Question 3, do we have rock salt grit in the yard? Potential tripping hazard. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So I'm just answering a question. Sorry, that was work. So yes, it's crackly on this end as well. Okay, let me go downstairs and see if that sound stops. Sounding like a Dalek. All right, let's head down. upstairs. Turn that light off. We'll see how it sounds downstairs compared to up here, because if I can't do my thingy live, I'll have to do it pre-recorded. So look, my missus loves me. Stairs are full of Star Wars. All right, so how's that sound? Is that better? Let me know. So it means me doing a live room tour. It's probably off the cards, unfortunately. Let me just get settled. Empty out my pocket, skills. There we go. They won't take me long to get through. The monkey says that's better. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, the monkey. The game came out for the PS2. It never got an upgrade or made for a newer system, just like the Buffy games. Is that for Blood Rain, is it? I'm assuming, because of Blood Rain. Hi, Adrian. Very well, thank you. How are you? Game's typo. There's people saying their hellos. Yep, it has issues. Choppy sound. Just as crackly on my end as well. Sound like Dalek. Yeah. AJ, have you seen the Region 1 DVD of Spider-Man 2 2004? Yes, I would have had it back in the day. Why? Why did you say, Matthew? What's the reason? I can't remember any difference or anything, but if you say, I might recall. Doctor Who reference is good. Yes. Better, clearer. Hi AJ, hope you're well, says Gary. I'm well, Gary. How are you? Hope you're keeping well. Short of, but still bit of. I'm lost. Hi Pete, how you doing, mate? Hope you're keeping well. One runner saying hello to Pete there. Yes, the Blood Rain game just for the PS2. Sound. What? So it's better now or it isn't? It should be better. I'm downstairs. Stronger signal. But there we go. So what's been happening? Well, let's have a look here. Star Trek there, look. This is the first issue. Now, I don't usually read Star Trek comics, but they've done one based upon Strange New Worlds. So I picked it up. So I'm going to give it a try and see what the adventures of Christopher Pike has in store in comic book form. They came out last week, I think. Pete saying hello. Sound is cracking a bit. There's nothing I can do at the moment, unfortunately. Hi AJ, how are you, mate? You're looking forward to the Mandalorian season 3 on March the 1st. Have you heard that Star Wars and Disney Plus are making a show called Acolytes? Yeah, I'm looking forward to Mandalorian coming back. Trailer looks good. The Acolyte, yeah, I've heard, I don't know nothing about it, but I've heard different names being, show names being thrown around. But yeah, no, Mandalorian, do you think it sounds different to the Region Who version? Very likely. My guess is that they're played at different speed. You used to find that when things were put to physical release, especially the difference between state and USA, they run at a very varying speed. I'm talking only minuscule, but it makes voices sound different than that. I've noticed it on The Office, the TV series, when I've seen different versions. Yeah, and sometimes you used to have a variation in runtime film, but there was no difference in the film. It's literally a couple of minute runtime because it's played at a slightly different sort of speed. Which Blood Rain is your favourite, AJ? None of them. They're all rubbish. Games or film? I've never played a game. The films are rubbish. Come on, they're directed by Uwe Boll. Name me one film he's done that's good. They're all rubbish. Great video on shows you'd like to see on physical. I'd like to see the Americans on Blu-ray. We got the first season, but the rest was on DVD. At least it came out on DVD. That's something at least. I mean, if some of them TV shows I mentioned were to come out on DVD, I'd be happy because it is at least a physical format. But it is annoying when you jump from, you know, when they start with Blu-ray and then they don't continue. It just stops. It goes to DVD. It's all to do with sales, isn't it? And how the sales perform for those seasons. Who was it? It was someone was saying about Homeland to me. Yeah, Homeland was one. You know, you got 7 seasons or whatever it was, 8 seasons it ran for. They released 7 seasons on Blu-ray and DVD, and then no season 8. You know, okay, I can understand dropping a show, but when there's one more to go, Christ, why not do the right thing for the collector and put that out there? You know. But yeah, I've never seen The Americans, to be honest. But it's like thingy, you know, you had Yorville, one that I could have put on that list actually. It wasn't back in my head. Yorville season 1 and 2 got a DVD release, but it's filmed in, you know, the quality of DVD doesn't, you know, it's filmed in much better quality than what DVD is. It can give you, and then obviously the latest season won't get a physical release at all, will it? Because the Disney side of things. But yeah, it's that's the world we live in now. More and more stuff I'm getting like that. There's bootlegs. I'm getting more and more bootlegs now than ever. I'm getting more pirated stuff in that sense. If you want to call a bootleg a pirate, which it is, than what I ever had when we're back in the day of VHS. When did Star Trek, the comic book or the TV show? The comic book came out about 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah. 47 Ronin 4K movie. Have seen it? You like it or not? Quality is amazing. I saw 47 Ronin when it came out. I've not seen the 4K. Is it that good, is it? Hi AJ. Hi 4K Michelin star movies. I see Batman and Robin and Forever is getting one of those lavish 4K sets like the other Batman films did. Will you be getting them? That's a really interesting question, Pete. Because no, I didn't get the others. I would have been more tempted to get them had they come out monthly as opposed to being released simultaneously. So I believe they were released simultaneously, if I remember right. I had them on 4K anyway, and the double dipping does become a bit too much. And so I left them. But they're all on sale now anyway. You can all get them. You can get them far cheaper now because they didn't sell out, which is a good thing, I suppose. And you can get them cheaper. Now, would I get Batman and Robin and Batman Forever? No, I wouldn't get Batman Forever. My least favourite Batman film. I might pick Batman and Robin up if it went down in price for the hell of it. No, but seriously, I've got my Batman and Robin thing coming, defending the dud. The thing with Batman and Robin is that I can sit down and I can watch it. Because it's so far removed from any other big screen Batman in what it does that I get enjoyment out of it in that way, in sort of 1960s, like, you know, it's almost a filmic version of the Adam West TV show, which I grew up on repeat. So I weren't there in the 1960s when it came out. but it's almost like a filmic version of that. You know what I mean? And I'll give it away now. Part of my defense for it is if that was the first Batman film to have come out in the if that was the first big screen Batman film to have come out, would you view it differently than what you do now? That's the question. The reason I say that is because, we've all been conditioned to liking this Dark Knight, the darker take on Batman that Tim Burton gave us. But Tim Burton gave us that based upon Frank Miller's work on the Batman comics, specifically the Dark Knight Returns comic book. And thusly, we were conditioned, and audiences were conditioned into liking a darker take on Batman. But prior to that, he wasn't that dark. So if this was the first Batman film to have come your way, I bet you it would sit in higher regard with people than what it does now. But I don't particularly like the steelbooks inside them sets. They're not very nice. I don't think they're very nice. I won't get it. I'd be tempted, but no, I won't. I'm stopping with the double dipping. I'm not doing that stuff. Do you need your glasses to see in general, just to read, or do you need them just to read but prefer to just always have them on? I need them for reading. If I take them off now, seriously, I cannot. I'd have to squint to read the messages there. I just need them. When did I start wearing? I started wearing glasses probably about 10 years ago. Started needing them. I do find myself sitting down. I do find myself relying on them more now. If I go out to shops, I need them to see the price labels and things like that. Makes it clearer. I think the problem I see is that glasses make your eyesight worse anyway, because without glasses, my eyes are fighting to see the writing. I'm all right seeing over there, far away, fighting to see the writing, but I get put glasses on and my eyesight relaxes to read the writing. And the more comfortable your eyes get in that sense, now I take them off again, it's even harder to see the writing. So I do think there's a case of glasses actually making things a little bit worse for you when you take them off. But I do find myself sitting down, I'm sat watching TV with them on, and my wife will say, take your glasses off. Oh yeah, I forgot I had them on. And also these don't help, do they? Mobile phones. We've got a generation of youngsters that need glasses because they're like that in front of their face all the time. The Netflix. Oh, what do you like? Sorry, what do you like more, Marvel or DC? Are we talking films or comics? And Marvel. Overall, Marvel, I'd say. Although comic-wise, Marvel was always the winner because the characters were more relatable. You can't relate to a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire orphan who dresses like a bat. You can't relate to a princess, an Amazonian princess. You can't relate to an alien from the stars. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas with Marvel, Peter Parker is written as a relatable character because he has issues in finding work and all this sort of thing, issues that we deal with. The Hulk is relatable to people in the sort of anger issue, that kind of thing, having anger problems. Matt Murdock is relatable in that he's got a condition, a physicality problem there with his eyes. You find that all the Marvel characters are very much relatable. Okay, I know that Tony Stark is a billionaire industrialist and all that, but he struggles with addiction in the comics, which Iron Man 2 went into, kind of tried to go into, but in the comics he was alcoholic. So the characters all have this element that is relatable to the normal person, but DC lacks that. So I find Marvel easier to read in that sense. Plus, my favourite comic book character is a Marvel character, and that being Punisher. You know, his family were brutally murdered by the mob while he was in the park, and they saw a brutal execution. You know, surely, if nothing else, we can all relate to that, can't we? But no, Marvel and the Marvel films are more fun. I like the fun aspect, but DC are good. I've never been one of them sort of I must choose one side and hate on the other. In my younger comic reading days, I was reading as much DC as what I was reading Marvel. Now I've read very little DC and Marvel, a few titles here and there, but not like I used to. And that's because of the films and the TV, because there's so much of it out there that it did affect my comic reading. Because I was getting my fill of it through TV, the fill of these characters. Whereas before, when I was reading comics prior to these films being made, I'm talking about prior to like 2008, when it really kicks off, you was just getting the odd crappy films, and DC were putting out pretty much nothing else than Batman and obviously Superman in the 70s and 80s. You could only dream about the superhero films that would come. And so, I was riding high for ages with what superhero films were giving us and what superhero TV was giving us. And now, even as a big fan of comic books and comic book characters, I can honestly say that fatigue has set in, and originality in them is dead. Case in point is Black Adam, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed Black Adam, but there's nothing in that film original whatsoever. You've seen it. If you've seen all the other comic book superhero films, you've seen Black Adam. But I had fun with it. And what more can you want? To be honest, Netflix could cover their losses by releasing these older seasons of Stranger Things and Witcher on physical. Yeah, I don't know why they don't. I don't know. They've got a game plan. It's all about getting. They want your numbers on there. They want your numbers on there, don't they? That's all it comes down to. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Only rubbish because they couldn't get the main actress to come back. Who? Kristanna Loken, Terminator 3. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to watch I suppose it'd be the first one, wouldn't it? Blood Rain. Yeah, but they're trash films, really, aren't they? Well, they are. Oh, come on. They're not good. Yes, Rodin is nice. Okay, cool. The legit real Dave Kaufman. Have you heard of the Loch Ness Monster? What do you feel about it? I feel that it's a fantastic tourist pool and nothing more. What do you think of the Wakanda Forever Steelbooks? Will you be getting one or both? I will be getting one. I don't know which one though. I'm not getting the Zavvi exclusive where you pay an extra 20 quid just for a slipcase and some art cards. I won't be getting that, but I'm undecided on the other two. But I will get one because I get one of Marvel Steelbooks. I don't mean in the sense that I've got to have every film multiple times to get every single steelbook released for it, but I do have all the Marvel films in a steelbook. So yes, I will get one. It might have helped if I'd seen the film to make my decision on how I felt about the steelbooks, but I haven't seen the film. I will see it before it comes out for sale, inevitably. Great to see Rocky on 4K, but just 4 films is a bit disappointing. Plus, you've got the steelbooks and the director's cut of 4 exclusive to the box set. Feels like Star Trek 4Ks all over again. I didn't realise that the director's cut was exclusive of 4 was exclusive to the box set. That means I'll be cancelling my pre-orders for the box set then. I think Matt looked into it. He said, Matt V Movies, he said that there's a rights issue with MGM. Some are Warner Brothers, some are MGM, the latter two. and that's the issue with why we're not getting all of them. But yeah, to have just the director's cut. Have you seen the director's cut, Pete? I have seen the director's cut. I enjoyed it. See, now Rocky IV isn't my favourite Rocky film. I know a lot of people cite that it is. I find it very hard to watch now. I find it a very dated movie. The director's cut I enjoyed, but it's very much just about the match and getting ready for the match and that sort of stuff. It trims quite a bit out, especially the silly robot. It's a product of its time. Rocky 3 and 4 are definitely a product of the 80s. You can tell that when you watch them. I like Rocky Balboa. I think that's a great film. Jim Jam. Hi, Jim Jam. How you doing? It is freezing. Jim Jam picks up the complete Soldier box set. £2, all 7 seasons. Traded in for 12. Nice. That's a good find. Soldier with, what were their names? They were the singers, weren't they? Was it Robson and Jerome? They were in it, weren't they? Yeah, I remember that back in the day. Nearly end of the network sale. I picked up nothing. AJ, have you seen Halloween Ends? Yes, I have. I have seen it. Question. Laurie Strode in Halloween Ends, right? Compare her and how she is at the start of that film. Her daughter's been killed a year or 2 years or 3 years beforehand, whatever the time frame is. I can't remember the time frame. And she's getting on with life. She's fine, in a sense. Michael Myers is out there somewhere. She knows that. Now look at her in Halloween 2018, the first of the three. The anxiety that she's living with at the start of that film, and bloody Michael Myers is locked up in a nut house. Bad writing there. Yeah, why would she be so anxiety driven at the start of that film when he's locked up, but then at the start of this film he's on the run somewhere and she's fine and her daughter's been killed? Makes no sense. I didn't really like Halloween Ends, and I felt that it was setting up for another ending. There's a far stronger ending they could have done with it, that would have more of a payoff emotionally. She should have died with Michael. She should have sacrificed herself, throwing him into that crusher or something like that. That's what I was expecting to happen. She had that moment where she sliced his wrists, but she was holding his hands because there's a connection between them. They can't, they sort of live off of one another, so to speak. And she should have sacrificed herself. I know she's died in films before, and it'd be a bit of a repetitive thing there, but that's how I think it should have ended. Give you a more emotional end to the film, and not a sense of, well, we could carry it on if we wanted because Laurie's still alive. But there we go. Have you seen The Last of Us yet? Yes, I did see The Last of Us. I watched it. It was all right. I wouldn't quite say. I wouldn't use the word epic. The problem with me is having lived The Walking Dead for 11 seasons and 7 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, 2 seasons of Walking Dead World Beyond, 1 short season of Walking Dead, them one-off ones, having read all the comics of The Walking Dead. I feel like I'm watching The Walking Dead. I don't feel any originality in the show whatsoever, and that was my primary issue. I had fun with it. It was all right. But Walking Dead. If you haven't watched The Walking Dead, not followed that, and you watch this, it might be like seem far more epic. I don't know, but for me, yeah, it was just felt unoriginal, uninspired, and there we go. Seen it all before. How do you feel about Terminator 3? Because it was done by a different director, not James Cameron. I think the rest of the films after that are very cheesy. Terminator 3, I enjoyed. It's got some silly moments, yes. I remember when it came out. 2004, was it? 2003, something like that. I think it's 2003. My son was 4 years old, and I took him to see it because it was a PG-13 or whatever it is over there, 12A. And I took him to see it. He loved it because it's relentless. It's good. It's got some good action. I think it's one of the best looking Terminator films for effects. I think at the end when Arnie's, his face is half see-through and you can actually see through it, and his arm and his leg missing, the skin, I think it looks fantastic. It's fun. It's fun. It's a fun film. It's not a great film. It's a fun film. It delivers in that sense. It's got some great action set pieces that look fantastic. That's all I can say. It's not as good as Terminator 1 and 2, obviously, but it's fun. Tag you're it. Oh, Gareth's in. Oh, where's that block button? Finding 5p DVDs now in Dudley. I'm only joking about Gareth. Over at Video Tasties. I've got a couple of lives with him over the next few months. Barbed Wire, Pamela Anderson comic book vehicle film. The Punisher, 1989. I can talk Punisher all day, so I hope he's got ears for that. Even Barbed Wire, I read the comics before the film came out. And last night he did mention about me being on his Batman one, The Batman. Because I'm not a fan of The Batman, people know that. I've got issues with it. And when he mentioned about doing the Batman one, which is his favourite film of the year, I thought it would be a great idea to have the two opposing views of the film. So the film will be playing like he does. And we'll be just talking about the film, but you've got the views of one person that loves it and the views of one person that doesn't particularly love it at all, and finds problems in a lot of it. So that'll be interesting, won't it? I like that idea of the two opposing. As opposed to having two people watching a film that they both love and gushing about it all the way through, you've got this, you've got the double sides. Finding 5p DVDs now in Dudley. That's I don't think you can find a penny sweet for 5p now, can you? That's amazing. If you ever need coasters, go to Dudley. 5p for a coaster. That's all that'll be. Blade Runner 2049 versus Blade Runner. Your preferences in new takes on old titles. I should keep reinventing old ideas or something new. I'll be honest, I actually prefer Blade Runner 2049 over Blade Runner. Yes. I find Blade Runner to be a slow-moving film that is aesthetically beautiful, fantastically made, fantastic world building, and that's what I get out of it, the world that it builds. But I've got several copies of Blade Runner. It's a film that I really want to get out of what other people get out of it. I really do, and I watch it quite often, time to time, but I don't get what other people get from it. Blade Runner 2049, I loved, I adored. I thought it was far superior film. I do think that if Blade Runner didn't have the ending with Rutger Hauer on the rooftop, if the ending was completely different and that speech wasn't there that Rutger Hauer gives, the film would be far less lauded over, honestly. AJ, how are you, bud? You look about 34. Thank you very much. I look about 34. Well, if you turn them two numbers around and add 4, there you are. You're at my age. 34. He's made my day. Coffee on the bus to keep warm. Matt says it's still crackly. I don't know why it's still crackly. I can't do nothing about that, unfortunately. Rolando Flores says hello. Hello, Rolando. How you keeping, mate? Are we going to see a room tour video soon? Yes. I said I would do it not this Saturday coming, next Saturday. I was going to attempt to do it live. I started this live upstairs in that room, but I'm too far away from the Wi-Fi to get anything good, so I'm going to have to pre-record it. It may have to be in 2 parts because I've had some people ask me to take my time with it, not rush around. I won't rush around anyway, but so it may end up being 2 parts. We may, do one half and then the other half. We'll have to see. But yes, so the plan is next Saturday in a week and a half. Fingers crossed. Still crackly, yep. What's your favourite 80s TV show and favourite 90s TV show? There are so many to choose from. I have thought about, I did think about doing a video of like my top 10 from the 80s, then my top 10 from the 90s. I may still do that. I seriously cannot put my finger on one show and say overall that's my favourite, because there were so many, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5, Moonlighting from the early 80s, Knight Rider, A-Team, Airwolf, all those, The Pretender, Xena Warrior Princess, the list is endless. So I might do top 10s from the 80s, 90s, noughties. In the 90s you had Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman. I adored that. In the late 90s into the noughties you had Smallville, didn't you? There's so many. I'd really have to put some thought into the ranking of those shows, because Star Trek Next Generation I'd class that as an 80s, as an 80s show, but then Deep Space Nine and that would fall into the 90s. Very, very difficult question. I'll give it some thought, and I'll do a couple of top 10 videos on each of the decades. I won't do the 70s because I was sort of born mid-70s, so it was in the 80s when I grew up more with TV. So I'll do them. I enjoyed my last lot of sort of top 10 videos. I want to do some more of that stuff. If you think they are trash, what do you think of the Underworld movie series? Kate Beckinsale in a skin-tight leather outfit. What can I say? No. The Underworld movies are very interchangeable for me with the latter Resident Evil films. I've said this before. It feels like they've written this generic script that could, just with a few fine details changed, could be used for one of those series or for the other series. And they just blindly go in and say, okay, that's our next one. What have we got? Okay, well, that's our next Underworld. That's our next. Do you know what I mean? They just feel so sort of conveyor belt made. But Kate Beckinsale looked great in the first couple anyway. I think as she got a bit older and skinnier later on, she didn't look as good. Still a beautiful woman though, very attractive. Yeah, MGM own 5 and 6. See, I'd like 6. I'm not too bothered with 5, but I'd like 6. Rocky Balboa on 4K. AJ, I locked my teacher in the office. Should I let her out? Yes or no? Moving on. Do you still have VHS movies or just DVDs? Just DVDs and Blu-rays. I've got 3 VHSs and that's it. And 2 of them were gifted to me by Matt at Matt V's Movies. He sent me the pilot episode to Star Trek Deep Space Nine. As he knows, it's my favourite Star Trek series. So that special edition release that they've done with this book in there. Fantastic. And Matt also sent me a special edition copy of Saving Private Ryan. Again, fantastic. It's got art cards in it and all this sort of stuff. So they're nice keepsakes of an era gone by. And last week I actually bought The Punisher on VHS tape. And that's on the back of Gareth at Video Tasties asking me to do a Punisher watch. And then I thought, oh, VHS, let's see if I can still get it, because I liked it. It had a silver foil logo on it and all this sort of stuff. So they're the only three that I still have. I don't have a VHS player. Yeah. I got rid of all my VHSs at the time of start of DVD. I slowly got rid of them all, everyone. I remember selling them to a company that would then, they'd be sold on cheap. So they bought them in mass. So I got very little for them, obviously, a few £100 here and there. But the box, I remember once when I loaded them into this box, I had a massive box and they wouldn't take it because it was too damn heavy. And that wasn't even all of them. But I used to have all the Star Treks on VHS. And you imagine you only had 2 episodes per tape. That's about 90 tapes. About 90 tapes, cassettes. What was it, 178 episodes of The Next Generation? Divide that into 2. Do you know what I mean? Wow. That money. I could have been rich. I rather enjoy all of them, but I don't like Stallone, how he treats his employees poorly. He says no eye contact. He fired a few people for that. Wow. Yeah, I don't really like, that is bad. I don't like that in celebrities, but you've got to be able to detach the artist from the art, haven't you? At times, if that makes sense. But yeah, I agree. That's not very nice. It's awful. It's awful to do that. But there we go. But I still watch his films. I enjoy his films. Top Bloke from Mark Greet. Who's Stallone? What do you feel about collector's editions generally? Do you think they are inconsistent in price and what you get for your money? I think that I've noticed a change in myself over the past year towards collector's editions. It started with, I think it was with like what they done with the Star Treks, and then what they done with the 4K release box set and that, and then RoboCop from Arrow, and American Werewolf, where you had a Blu-ray release, Blu-ray with 4K transfer on it, and then re-released time later with the actual 4K, but with all the same box, with all the same stuff. I just thought that we were being sort of ripped off. I think that I was saying this the other day. I think we're in an era where these companies are grappling for life, shall we say? The death knell has been rung for physical media. That's physical media is on a decline. There's no denying that, and the companies are doing all they can to survive and make their money. So that they're going after the collectors. They're going out with these premium format releases, and I've been more recently, whenever I get one, I open one up, there's a sense of disappointment, a sense of I have wasted my money. And I want to break away from that. I want to step back from that. I don't want to get as many as I was getting. I'm not saying I'm going to stop them all. Space is an issue as well, but I don't want to stop them all, obviously. But I'm going to be more selective with the ones that I get, and just opt for like the standard 4K Blu-ray rather than all these collector sets. I've got a lot, and yeah, right, good question. Blade Runner is transformative. I love the world of Blade Runner. I can't, beside me here, where is it? I've got issue 2 of Blade Runner 2039, which is a comic book. Hold on a minute. Bear with me. Because also in here where I am looking, and there's one there, That's issue 1 of Blade Runner 2039, sorry. So basically, Titan Comics a few years ago started releasing Blade Runner comics. They started with 2019, and this was in 2019, and then a 12-issue series. Then they jumped to a 12-issue series called Blade Runner 2029, then 2039, and obviously the newer film was 2049. And I love, visiting the Blade Runner world, even in comic book form. It's a great world, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of the world more than that first film, I will say. There's also a Blade Runner, one called Blade Runner Origins comic book, and a comic book that continues Blade Runner Black Lotus, the animated anime TV series that was done that I did enjoy. So I like the Blade Runner world. I bought the Flash Gordon Collector's Edition, which was 50 quid, but it's packed with books, comics, 5 discs, including the music soundtrack, compared to Blade Runner Film Vault, which is terrible value, I think. I'd done a video saying that because I got the Blade Runner Film Vault and 1917, and I did come away feeling a bit ripped off. However, that being said, I only paid £70 for the 2 of them, so essentially £35 each. But for 50 quid, yes. And the reason I paid 70 quid is because I got money off of TikTok. Matt pointed me towards TikTok doing something where if you subscribe to them for a week, logged in daily, they'd give you these money points. And if you got someone else to do it, you'd get, and at the end of the week, you get 17 quid from them for logging in daily. And then if you've got someone else to do it by sending them a link, you'd get another 17 quid if they'd done it. So I got my wife to do it. So I had like about 34 quid there. And I used 30 on them. So I paid 35. But even still, yes, in comparison to that Flash Gordon one, you're absolutely right. That Flash Gordon one, because I've got that myself, and it's a great release, packed with stuff. Yes, I didn't get the other 2 film vaults. I'm not a sort of collector who must get every one of a single release. Do you know what I mean? There you go. Who's your favourite YouTuber? Well, I'll show you. Bear with me. Just bear with me. I think I could show you him. Oh, where's all my photos? All photos. Here he is. Here's my favourite YouTuber. See him? Myself. And what answer did you want? Come on. I don't know. I don't really, there's a lot of people in this community. They're all great, fantastic community here. But I do watch, it makes me laugh. Adam Does Movies, is it? And Matt, if you're still watching, yes, I think he is. Adam Does Movies. This fella here, I find to be very funny. Very funny. And the geezer who does pitch meetings. I'll bring him up. If you've seen pitch meetings. This geezer who does pitch meetings. They're the 2 that I watch regularly. I think they're very funny in what they do. I've been watching a lot of Doctor Who on YouTube. Okay, all right. And that's from a man named Mr. TARDIS, who does a fantastic job breaking down the episodes. Okay, all right, okay. I wonder if people like Ian over at Ian Hill's The Ramblings and Michael's Movie Corner watches him, because they're very, very, very much into Doctor Who. Yeah. There's a character called He-Man, but with all this going on, there should be a character called She-Man. Yeah, you probably wouldn't get away with. Would you be able to get away with calling him He-Man now? I doubt it. It would just be Master of the Universe. AJ, I'm going to pick up Teacher like a dumbbell because I'm stronger, and I'm going to throw her. Matthew, come on. Howdy, AJ. I missed your Batman show again. What Batman show? Are you talking about my Batman and Robin? It's Saturday. My Batman and Robin defending Dud. I'm not very happy with it, I'll be honest. Good idea with buying stuff. Yep. Yeah, I don't. I think that if that's what you mean. Wow, Blade Runner comics, cool. Yeah, I've got them all. Yeah, I like the Blade Runner comics. Hey AJ, hi Gap After Dark. I was big into graphic comics. I was big into graphic comic if Conan back in the 1980s. I loved it 100%. Yeah, Conan's. Who's Conan with now? I think Conan's back with Marvel at the moment. He was even a member of the Savage Avengers a little while ago. Let me see if I can find your cover. Savage Avengers. I'm going to have a look on eBay. I did read it for a bit, not for Conan. You'll see why. Savage Avengers. Here we go. Oh, I don't know where is he? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Take a look at this. Here's a cover of Savage Avengers for you. You'll see why I read it. Conan and the Punisher. Yeah. And at the moment, Savage Avengers includes, well, you can't really see it because the logo of the seller is there. Punisher 2099 is in the Savage Avengers. So I'm reading it again now for that character, 2099 Punisher. AJ, did you get the limited edition Superman DVD Steelbook 2006? No, I don't think I did. I think the only DVD is I've got the tin of Superman. But that would have been later because Superman Returns is part of that, and that was 2008. So yeah, I've got the big thick tin with it. But no, I didn't get that, unfortunately. Is your favourite what you're talking about? Sorry, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, I've got no point of reference for that message. Sorry. I am too, Doctor Who. Hi, Jay. Are you going to buy the Rocky Steelbooks or the 4K version? And are you going to buy Wakanda Forever? Yes, I'll get Wakanda Forever because I do get all comic book. I've not seen Wakanda Forever. I will see it before I get it, but I would get it, yes, because it's Marvel, and I know that they're going downhill. But I like Marvel. What can I say? Comic book films I like. Rockies, yes, but Play 10. I think it was Pete who said that the Rocky 4 director's cut is only on the box set, which means I'm going to have to buy the box set. Yeah. Defending a Dud, yes. That's Saturday evening, that is, I think. No, I didn't see that one. Unsolved Mysteries. I can't say I watched that. 14 discs. Okay. Superman Returns. Oh, is it? Okay, 2006. Yes, no, you're right. Sorry. You're right, it is 2006. Yes, I got that big box set. Is that the one you was on about? Yes, I've still got that upstairs. Yeah, okay. Oh, you're about 5 minutes behind. Okay, fair enough. That explains that. Yeah, no, I got mixed up with the dates. I was thinking, when did I start my current job? And I was thinking 2008, but I started in 2006. And I remember the film coming out there and then me talking to, I remember where I was talking about it to someone. But yeah, you're absolutely right. But yes, I did get that. That's the one you mean. I've still got it upstairs. Perfect condition, I think. I've got a nice lenticular inside that was off the cover of, I think it was either Empire or Total Film. Probably Total Film of Superman turning into Clark Kent, the two differences, Brandon Routh. I took it off the cover and put it inside that box there. I'd love to see a Conan final film, like the last story of him sitting on a troubled throne, but the movie Kull was supposedly that film, but not with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. Yeah, I know they were going to do King Conan, and it never came to pass, which is unfortunate. Would you like to see one now? You know, do you think Arnie's past it? Do you think he could still do a final Conan film? I think he could. He doesn't have to bare his chest in it or that, does he? He can be sort of clothed over with some burlap sack or something. I don't know. Oh, Dan's here. Hiya, Dan. How are you keeping? From Dan's Man Cave. Hiya, J Hope. All is well. Just tuning in after the school run. I see One Real Nerd is here, so just to let him know, I picked up Electric Dreams on Second Sight label. A brilliant release, as always. Okay. I haven't seen Electric Dreams in well, probably since it came out in the early 80s. 40 odd years. So I can't remember it that well. But Virginia Madsen, you know, I'm sold. I'm sold if Virginia Madsen's in it. She was a very attractive actress. I'll have to look for that one. Oh, One Real Nerd's seen that. I need a link for Electric Dreams if it's a region-free Blu-ray. Yeah, you are a little late. 1 hour and 2 minutes. Would I rather be a bus driver or a taxi driver? My wife is actually a bus driver. She's a London bus driver. So after seeing what she has to put up with, I'd choose taxi driver, I think. Choose your own hours. Yeah. Taxi driver, definitely. If we're talking here in London, traffic's awful. Dan says he's gutted that the Rocky IV director's cut is only on the box set. Yeah. I'll pass unless I ever see the set at a reasonable sale price. I prefer the original cut, but this new cut was a good experience. I do actually have the new cut on a bootleg disc, you know, a while back. I got it because obviously I didn't know if we'd ever gonna see it. And I don't. Do I need to get the box set just for that? They're the questions that I'm pondering now. You know, I've got a bootleg disc of it. Like I was saying, I'm getting more and more bootlegs now than Christ back in the day of proper VHS piracy. You know, just because of stuff that isn't only the stuff that's not coming out that doesn't get a release. I didn't think that was ever going to see the light of day, to be honest. That sort of came about and went quietly, that director's cut on its release. I struggle with the I do struggle with the theatrical cut of the film. It's very much a product of its time, very 80s, almost plays like a music video. The robot stuff just takes me out of the film. I would like to sit down and watch both of them close together, because the director's cut is very much more about the fight and the journey to the fight, and sort of takes a lot of the other stuff out of the film. Yes, it would be a passing of the sword to his daughter, or maybe a son. Come on, we know it wouldn't be a son. Arnie was rumoured to do King Conan before he became governor. I'd love to see it happen and him pass the torch, so to speak. Yeah, he was. There was all that talk and that bloody governor stuff stepped in. Have you watched The Forgiven with Ralph Fiennes? Have you watched See How They Run yet? No and no. I'm afraid. I haven't seen Forgiven. I did watch The Chef the other night. I've done a review of it, didn't I? Yeah. That's all right. Virginia, yes, indeed. She is nice looking, but don't tell my wife I said it. Who was better in films, Jim Carrey or Robin Williams? Robin Williams. I don't even think about that one. I love Jim Carrey. I think Jim Carrey's great. But it's funny you should sort of, put them two actors up against each other, because I was saying earlier up in the chat, weren't I? Batman Forever is my least favourite Batman film. Number one, because I don't particularly like Val Kilmer as an actor at all. I don't get on with him as an actor at all. Although saying that, he was fantastic in Tombstone. I think that's the only film where I can legitimately say I thought he was spot on. So I didn't like him cast as Batman. Jim Carrey, I didn't want cast as the Riddler. Robin Williams is who I wanted to see in that role as the Riddler. So nothing against Jim Carrey in that sense there. It's just Robin Williams, I thought, would have given us a darker take. Robin Williams can do very dark when he wants. Well, rest his soul, he's not with us anymore, is he? Which is such a shame. But Robin Williams, I'd say. I can't sort of endorse Jim Carrey's buffoonery. Is that what Tommy Lee Jones said? It was something like that, wasn't it? Can't condone your buffoonery. I did see it. Netflix brought out a video earlier today with the first look and sneak peeks at their upcoming films of this year, announcing films and announcing the release date of the films. I did see that. I'm intrigued by the Luther. Idris Elba back as Luther. That intrigues me. There's a few titles there, but the problem is after you watch a lot of these films on Netflix, you come away feeling empty. You come away feeling, I feel that there's something missing, that the film's lacking something. And I don't know what that something is. I've never been able to properly pinpoint what it lacks, what they lack. But it's something. I don't know if there's a sort of genericness in their writing, and that, they're just written and anyone could play the parts or something like that. I'll get there one day. One Real Nerd just looked on Blu-ray.com, and unfortunately Electric Dreams is region B locked. Is One Real Nerd, you're after a thing as well, aren't you? Vampirella. Is it Vampirella? I'll turn the light on because it's getting dark. I'm having a look just beside me, because just talking about Vampirella, there's bound to be a Vampirella comic book beside me somewhere. There's two of them. There you go. Two Vampirella Mind Warp comic books. The film of Vampirella, starring Talisa Soto, who you would know from James Bond, License to Kill. And she was in Mortal Kombat. starred in the Vampirella movie. It was a Roger Corman produced film, so it's very cheap. I do have it on DVD upstairs. Included Zack Snyder film Rebel Moon that he is trying to make a franchise like Star Wars. So this is his version take. I wouldn't say it's his take on Star Wars. He wants to get a franchise off the ground, but he did drop the ball on what was that zombie one he made? Came out a little while ago. He dropped the ball on that, didn't he? Yes. Matthew Nichols, AJ, have you got a favourite Marvel X-Men film? Yes, I do. Now let's take aside the solo films, put them out of the equation. So your Deadpools, your Logan, and all that. My favourite X-Men film is X-Men First Class. Yes, that's my favourite one for many a reason. Do I have to defend it? I figured. I got it on iTunes. I chatted with Screen Factory Shout, and they considered it super cool. They take requests to add to their catalogues. Okay. Robin Williams, to me, I would argue all day long, is the greatest. What a genius. Could make you laugh, could make you cry, and also disturb you with the movie Insomnia and 1 Hour Photo. Yes, that's absolutely right. Totally agree with Dan, and he agrees with me. Robin Williams. Nanu. I've got Morgan Mindy on on DVD upstairs as well. I probably only got that about a year ago. I'm at work. Sorry, that's why not. Have a great one and keep warm. It is cold. Whenever I watch Robin Williams, I think, what a shame the world lost a great man far too soon. Yeah, totally. He's one of those, whenever you see him, you got to watch him. He's fantastic. And you always miss him. It is such a shame. I love Hook. I love the film Hook. I think it's fantastic. I really do. I can watch it regularly. One real nerd. Most companies like Vinegar Syndrome, Kino Lorber, and others like to hear about out-of-print films. They buy into 2 to 5 year options. Okay, all right. They like to hear about out-of-print films. They should do their own work. And they should have a look at what's out of print. Instead of people telling them, yes, Vampirella. Yes, I used to have 2 DVDs of it. I was funny. I had one DVD where it was split with another film. And I think that was a Region 1. And it had 2 films on it. But it really bugged me that it didn't have a film of a case of its own. It really annoyed me. So when I saw that there was a solo version, I think I sold that and got the solo, which was an import. I'm sure it's a Region 1 import I got. Do you think Dwayne Johnson should have stuck to wrestling, because he's not a very good actor, in my opinion? I think Dwayne Johnson has got a really good on-screen persona. I think he's watchable. He's a star, isn't he? You know, you got to have a distinct break in your mind between a movie star and an actor. To see what I'm saying? There's a distinct difference between the two. And yeah, he's not the best actor, but he's very watchable. And I think that he has fantastic chemistry with a lot of different people on screen, and that shines through. And when I first saw Scorpion King, which obviously was his first main feature, I believe, after appearing as the Scorpion King in Mummy 2, I thought, this guy's quite watchable. But yeah, he's a wrestler, isn't he? He's come from that background. He's not an actor. He's a star. But yeah, but like I know Dan says, he would like to see Dwayne Johnson doing a lot more sort of adult orientated stuff as opposed to family friendly films all the time. Nice, yeah, 300. We Are Sparta 300. I did think Jim Carrey did well in number 23. I would have liked to have seen more darker, more serious roles from him, but I think he is retiring now. Yeah, until the money draws him back. I've not seen number 23. I don't think I've seen. No, I may have done a long time ago. Nice. Vampirella is on my wish list. If you find one that is region free, I am all for it. I'll be honest, you're more likely going to find that over there than what we are over here. Let me have a look, actually. Let me have a gander. I'm going to look on eBay. Vampirella. It's an awful film. I think he's in it. What's his name? Who was the Who? Oh Christ! You know the lead singer of the Who. All right, there's one from the United States, £48, £52. Oh, from Italy, that one, £52. £68 in the States, £68. This is not including postage. £82 from the US. Yeah. I think it's only US ones. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a European version somewhere. And Damsel. Who's the actress in Stranger Things? 11 Millie Bobby. Yeah, 11 Millie Bobby Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah. Hello, AJ from the land of Minnesota. The grubby raccoon. I love to hear some must pick up British shows. I've got a good bunch, but always looking for new recommendations. Young Ones, Bottom, 94s and Horses, 40 Towers, Dad's Army, Life on Mars, not the US version, UK version. There must be loads more. I'm sure there's people in the chat who can put a few recommendations down. I haven't seen Murder Mystery 1. Movie Madman. Yo. Movie Madman, nice to see you. We want to get you on a live at some point. Yeah, we're going to have to make that happen. I like The Rock. He is a super cool guy. Yeah. AJ, have you seen DC League of Super Pets? Yes, I have. I've got it on Blu-ray upstairs. I enjoyed it. You know, I found it very funny when the dog Crypto is waking Superman up out of bed and just, pulling him along through the sky while he's still sleeping and that. Yeah, it was. I had fun with it. He does a lot of charity work. Who does? The Rock. Yeah. 2 questions. Have you seen any of the films that will probably go into the Oscars? Also, are you a fan of the TV show Inside Number 9? I've never seen Inside Number 9. I'll be honest, I don't even know what it is. I'll have to look it up, and I don't know. I couldn't tell you one film that's been nominated for an Oscar. I honestly cannot. I pretty much ignore the Oscars, I'll be honest. It's not... I read very little. I read very little film news now. Back when I was younger, I was all over film news and that, and I was in the know on so much stuff. And now, films will come out, and I'm like, I didn't even know that was coming out. And I even actively ignore a lot of trailers for films. I've not watched the Evil Dead Rise trailer. I saw the one that when Bruce Campbell introduced the teaser, but I didn't watch anything beyond that because I want to watch the film. But I like going into the film into these films not knowing anything. I like going in blind, and that means, you know, and I've got into this habit of avoiding reading about films, watching many a trailer for films, you know. So yeah, even things like the Oscars, it passes me by now. I think what it is, I'm older. There's so much going on real life wise that I don't really get the time for all that. Even when things, you know, I hear that something's been cancelled and that, it's like, oh well, it's, you know, or projects missed. What can I do? Do you know what I mean? It's just getting grumpy in my old age. As Finny said earlier, Jim Jam, it looked like I'm 34. I'm getting grumpy in my old 34-year-old age. 34. So I said he made my day. Roger Daltrey, that's it. I forget Roger Daltrey. He's so hammy in Vampirella. He's so, he's just like chewing that scenery. He was actually in Highlander, the TV series as well, and he was pretty good in that. He had a recurring role. He was one of Duncan MacLeod's friends. It's a shame when they killed off his character. Hey Movie Madman, said the one we're on there. Red Dwarf is a British classic. Yes, it is. How can I forget Red Dwarf? I do have all them upstairs as well. Grew up with Red Dwarf. Fantastic series. So funny. So funny. Best. How late is it? Jesus, it's 4:30. I want to know if I've got to pop around my father's, primarily because he's got some post coming for me. So I've got to go. I don't have my post delivered to me here. Oh, estimated arrival 4:15 to 6:15. Jesus Christ. Oh. My current Amazon used to deliver to me from, I think it's Dartford, somewhere like that, and now it's moved to Orpington, which is, well, and now my Amazon deliveries, well, I don't know, they come later. Damn it. Red Dwarf, yeah, classic. I like Movie Madman. I'm definitely up for a live chat. I could do it with the subs. Oh, I was thinking subtitles for a minute. I think, what do you need subtitles for? Sorry, it's me just like I think, what do you want subs for? Yeah, subs. Yeah, that's why we do it. Yeah, we'll sort something out. I know that this weekend I am doing a live on Sunday. It's early Sunday. I can't do it Saturday, like what we usually do, me and Matt, because I've got to take my dad to the hospital for cataract removal in one of his eyes. Anyway, then he's got to go back for the other one. And apparently they do that in about 15-20 minutes. They, you know, wow, they slice your eye open, remove the lens, put in a new lens, and send you on your way. You know, who'd have thought that medicine got that advanced? So I've got to take him for that. That's at 12:30, so I won't be doing a live then. But I'm doing a live on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Now, Matt's free on 10 a.m., so we're doing that. But the reason we're doing it early is because I've got on Ocean's Reviews from Australia, and also I've got Movie Monster on, and it'll be his first time, and he's a small channel over in Australia as well. But I think he's French. I think he's from or somewhere like that. I have to ask him when he's on. He's only got a small channel. He's only got about 12 videos on. So I like getting, you know, it's nice getting these smaller channels on. Me and Matt do, and it helps promote them a bit and get them some subs. So absolutely. So I know Matt's probably be doing the one the week after, then I'll be doing the one the week after that. So we'll sort out a date for that one. And why not? It'll be good to have you on. Movie Madman is hilarious. He's crazy. Right, AJ, Jim Jam's off to work. Have a good evening at work. Matt says we will sort of stream Movie Madman. Yep, we will. Stop worrying, Pieface. Stop worrying about the Oscars since they gave Forrest Gump Film of the Year instead of Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, that was like, oh, you know, yeah. Yeah. Why? Don't know. I mean, I like Forrest Gump. It's a good film. But Shawshank Redemption is a better film. He was in Highlander, yes. Can't remember his name. Do you own the Moon Knight 2006 omnibus by Charlie Huston? What do you think of it? No, I don't have the omnibus. I've got some of that run. It was quite a good run, actually. I've got some of his run in. It would have been in the individual comics, but if you're still watching, just bear with me. He says, because right beside me. Oh my goodness! Oh, I've got to get these upstairs. The missus is back tomorrow. I've got a pile of comics there, but I do have beside me. Wherever it is. There you go. Issues 18 and 19 of the current Moon Knight comic book run. Yeah. As you can see. Moon Knight. But yeah, no, I do have some of that run which you're talking about, but not as an omnibus. Now, I don't buy many omnibus editions. It's more, I get the individual comics, although it would be far cheaper and tidier to get graphic novels and omnibuses and all that. But yeah. Red Dwarf. I got stuck on this TV show in college. This lady friend I rather liked had a offer to watch it non-stop for hours, and it was like Friday to Sunday night enjoyable show. It is. And obviously it's sort of, you know, that started in the early 80s, and you had that film The Promised Land not only a couple of years, a few years ago now. It's yeah, I mean, and we were me and Matt, we went to Comic-Con, London Film Comic-Con last year. Chris Barry was there. Now Matt's not a Red Dwarf watcher, but I made him sit through the Chris Barry chat. British Empire. I haven't got that on Blu. I ain't got that on DVD. There's one for the list. Chris Barry was there, and he didn't deny that there's a possibility of another Red Dwarf coming, another episode or film or whatever. But we'll have to watch this space, won't we? Yep. Not sure if you've seen Turbo Kid, AJ, but I'd recommend that. Also, the few comics relating to the movie are good too. Turbo Kid, no, I've not seen that. I'm having a Google now. I would go into thingy. I'm in Amazon Germany at the minute, so I won't change. Turbo Kid, DVD Blu-ray. Okay. All right. Well, that Mad Max on a BMX. Okay. And who's in it? Can't even read that. It's all bloody blurry. Looking at who's in it. Someone Chambers, Lawrence LaBouffe, someone Wright, Michael Ironside. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, of course. How can I not see Michael Ironside on the cover? Because one of his eyes is covered up. Okay. All right. I didn't even know there was comics of it. Did you read Do a Power Bomb from Image Comics on the best comics from last year? No, I didn't. I'll be honest, I don't even know about it. There's so many comics released these days. Again, even with comic books, I'm not really in the know like what I used to be. Back in the day, the early days of me collecting comics, you had, I'd pick up things like previews. I'd pick up Wizard magazine. I'd pick up all these this stuff that would tell you about everything that's coming out. You had the news in it and all that. And now there's probably a lot of great titles that I overlook. COVID very much changed my shopping habits of comic purchasing. It started going all online, and I sort of stuck with that. So my comic shop every Tuesday at 6 p.m. they upload, for sale what's out that week. I just go through it. I've already gone through diamondcomics.com to see what's out. I know what I want. But it's very expensive now. Comic reading is very expensive. But yeah, no, I didn't get that one. Agreed about the omnibus versus individual issues. I buy them as a continual read rather than having to go from comic to comic. Going to get Werewolf Within. Yeah, it's so much cheaper to buy graphic novels rather than omnibus editions, and I don't know. Even with comic reading, I've got to make a change to how I'm doing it. I have to check out Red Dwarf. I'll have to see if I can't pick up some of the DVDs, Blu-rays. You'll get the Blu-rays. Even I don't know what the DVD box set is like. That came out a few years ago. As in, I don't know what it's like for cost. I do have it. DVDs you probably pick up very cheap. It's a great show. Great show. That's the one. Michael Ironside is the villain. A post-apocalyptic film with a great soundtrack. Okay, I'll put it on my list. Being a big Batman fan, have you read the Detective Comics? I want to get Faces of Death. I used to read back in the day Detective Comics. Yes, but I'm going back to when I would read, what was it? You had Batman, you had Detective Comics Batman, you had Robin, you had Catwoman, you had Legend of the Batman or something like that. I can't remember. I'm going back a long time. I used to read back then, but they all crossed over with one another, like Superman did. You had four titles, but you had to buy all of them on a weekly basis. So one title a week, and the stories all crossed into one, and it just became too much. And more recently, the sort of Batman reads I've been doing are more of the from Black Label. That's Catwoman one, Lonely City, from the Black Label line, which is a more adult take on the comics. But I also had a while ago, when the Batman film came out, I sort of said I was going to stop reading any Batman comics, because I've sort of burnt out on Batman on screen and in comic book form. Completely burnt out, because there's just so much of it. The constant. Okay, I know Christian Bale ended with Batman in 2008, right? But for me, it feels like it was yesterday. It feels to me like he ended his Batman reign yesterday, and then Ben Affleck's just sort of been and gone, and now you've got Pattinson, and on TV you've got Titans, you've had 5 years of Gotham, you had 3 years of Batwoman, you got Pennyworth, the TV show, you got unlimited Batman animated films that keep coming out. And okay, I know like Gotham and Batwoman isn't Batman, but it's still that world. And I feel like I've been burnt out on Batman, and it's kind of like stop with Batman. Let me have a 10-year break, step off, then step back in. That being said, I do have in this pile here issue 1 of Batman: The Adventures Continue, season 3, which I will read. I will continue getting this one because it's basically where is it? Let me find you a page that, you know, it's Batman the Animated Series in comic book form, and I've got a couple of graphic novels of them up there as well. And I always have fun with these because I don't have to worry about the continuity of anything else, any other comic books. I can just read it as a sole, you know what I mean? And it's sort of like almost throwaway stories, if that makes sense. I'm a big fan of the animated Batman cartoon, and then the other Batman comic I've got here. This is a delayed comic, but I was going to finish the run, and that is, but it's Batman Beyond, or Batman Beyond the White Knight. But what I'm saying is that it's the character of from Batman Beyond as opposed to normal Batman. So yeah, but I'm burnt out. I'm very much burnt out on Batman. Just too much of him, too much, and that's part of the fatigue that I was talking about earlier with the comic book genre of films. You know, I know loads of people loved the Batman, and it's great that it worked for them. And like I said, if you weren't listening earlier, I am doing a sit down and watch on Gareth Video Tasties channel at some point in the future. I don't know if it's February, March. I don't know when it'll be, of the Batman. Right now, I'm very critical of the film The Batman. I didn't like it much at all. And Gareth said he was going to do one, and he said, "Oh, do you want to do it?" as a laugh. And I said to him, "Do you know what?" I think it would be a great idea to have those two opposing opinions of a film going at it in a conversation. Yeah, we're watching the film. It was his favourite film of the year. It made my most disappointed films of the year going into the worst, but I put it as a disappointment. So it'd be great. I just think it's great to have that sort of juxtaposition in a video, as opposed to having two people that are watching a film and saying, "Yeah, it's fantastic. Christ, that's fantastic. Yeah, I love it. We both love it." You got two people sitting there, one saying, "I like it," the other saying, "I don't think that works." It just gets a bit more interesting, isn't it? So I said, "Yeah, you know what? I'll sit down for 3 hours and do that." Yeah, I like that idea, having those two, and I'd love to do videos like that. Have two people on, go through a film. One of them likes it, one of them doesn't like it, and you're having that conversation as to why, but not getting into the realm of, you know, fisticuffs over it or anything. Just having a grown-up civil conversation, two opposing opinions on a film. Fantastic. So anyway, so it looks like my comments have ended. People have got tired of commenting. So I might end this momentarily. Just looking on my phone. What's this? Oh, it's the bank. We understand that everyone can need a financial safety net from time to time. Setting up an arranged overdraft could be one way to manage your money. Find out more at No Thank You. One thing I don't do is I don't have a credit card. I don't have an overdraft. I have done in the past. Christ, going back. I'm going back years now. Probably early 2000s. Early 2000s, yes, it would have been. You know, we had the crisis, the financial crisis in 2008. This is when places like Woolworths and all that shut down. And the bubble burst in the housing market a bit. But before that, in the lead up, you know, it got to a point where I had about an overdraft limit of about £3,000. £3,000 overdraft limit. I did have loans at the time and things like that. And I remember this one occasion when the bank came to me, said to me, do you want a loan? Do you want to consolidate your overdraft and your loans into one to sort of clear it? And I said, no, I don't. I goes, because what will inevitably happen is that I'll hit that zero again and I'll start feeding into that overdraft again. And then, so I said no, I refused it. And a week later, the bank just put my overdraft limit up again, maxing out at about £3,000. And if I knew then what I knew now, I would have handled things a lot differently. So now I'm at a point where I don't do a credit card. I haven't got one. The wife's got one upstairs in a tin. There's nothing owed on it. It's used primarily in the event of an emergency. Well, that never comes to pass. Sometimes we will do a shopping on it and then pay the shopping straight away just to get that, you know, just sort of keep her credit score up. But we don't use it in that sense. And overdraft, when I set up with my new bank, about, I don't know what year it was, about 10 years ago, they said, oh, do you want overdraft? I said, no. Don't want an overdraft, just zero. Yeah, and that's the way I sort of operate now. I hate owing money to people. Worst thing ever. But there we go. What can you do? My credit limit is probably shot to crap. It really is. But there we go. You know, if I ain't got the money for something, I'll save up. Yeah, so anyway, it looks like this has sort of rounded off and come to an end. So I am going to shoot off. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your comments. It's been fun. I only really set this up as a sort of test to see whether I could get away with doing a room tour live, whether the internet would allow me to go that far away from it, because I don't have a booster in between. It seems like it wouldn't, so I'm going to have to video it and edit it and all that stuff. So I'll do a room tour for Saturday in a week and a half's time. There we go. I say no to putting on credit. I say save 3 years to get my Sony projector cash. If you're renting, it's not too much of an issue, but if you own, then yeah. I used to own. I did used to own a house in Coulsdon, on the Surrey border of London, Surrey border, or Croydon, Surrey border. The very last road it was before you come into Banstead County Council, and that was with my ex-wife. Lovely house. It was in a place called Chipstead Valley Road, so it was literally a valley. It was a valley, and it was a semi-detached 3-bed garden, but the garden was it was uphill because it was a valley. I loved it. And then unfortunately, as relationships do, that relationship broke down for reasons in about 2009, and the house went, and I am back to renting now. There we go. That's life, isn't it? One of those curveballs that life throws at you, but you just get on with it and make the most. There we go. I agree with your stance on debt. You are right, 100%. I have been in debt. Don't get me wrong. I you know, when I did get in trouble years ago, in a sense. I don't mean in trouble with people. I mean, you know, I did incur a bit of debt, yes, and I didn't like it at all. And I sort of vowed, when I got rid of it, I vowed never to go back there again. Yeah, touch wood. There's that table. It's there. Touch wood. That won't happen. I don't know where I am at the moment, but you know, it's easy to do. It's easy to get into, and the banks are. Back then, the banks were the worst for it. The banks, you know, money was just so easy. Credit cards were so easy to get, you know. And it seems that we're going back that way a bit now. Because my wife received a letter the other day saying we're increasing your overdraft limit. If you don't want it, you got to contact us. And when she told me that, I sort of went, wow. I go, wow, that just reminds me of you know, time gone by. A time that I thought the banks had sort of come away from that now. Obviously not. They're still trying to get you into financial trouble because they make more money from it. So it benefits them to have you in your overdraft limits. Benefits them you having a larger overdraft limit. Crooks. There we go. Great stream. Thank you. Okay. I am going to go now because it is, trying to look at the clock, 5 o'clock. That's a nice time to end it on. Thank you all. Like I said, I will be live on Sunday morning, 10 a.m. I know it's early, but for the two guys that I've got on with me and Matt from Australia, for them it is late at night, or it's coming into late at night, maybe 9 at night or something. And they're in two different parts of Australia, I know. So it might be different time zones as well for them. They've got to get up the next morning for work. So that's why I'm doing it at 10 a.m. with them. And Movie Madman, who was up in the chats, we'll get him on as well. All good. The future's bright. The future's orange, which is how I'm looking at the moment, given the lights. Because the lights in here, to show you, are the sort of filament bulbs. The ones you get in like the warm lighting you get in restaurants with the, you know, filaments that you can see. Because I sort of planned this room in that sense. Although I want to get the walls in here a darker green. Not the red anymore. Then I might not look so orange. But anyway, Andrew says, all the best, mate. Great stream. Thank you very much, Andrew. So we're at 4:59. I'm an hour and 48 minutes, and I am off. Thank you very much, and I shall see you all later. Goodbye.